What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to show you how we built this 1,500 square foot big block retaining wall. You see, this is a commercial retaining wall. We use Redi-Rock blocks. There's an existing old CMU retaining wall behind this that was failing, and we left it intact and built this wall in front of it. The owner didn't want to disturb the residents in the back, so he decided to sacrifice a little bit of his parking lot to build this block wall in front of that existing wall. This video I'll switch back and forth from time-lapse and to me explaining certain details and aspects of the job and why we're doing things certain ways. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Put a thin layer about an inch or two down just to try to get this base somewhat level. And the reason I did this is because we're going to put the geo-stabilization fabric down, and I like to lay that down on a semi-flat surface, as flat as it can be. So we got the stabilization fabric down, and you can see we got it pretty taut. We threw some shovelfuls on here, and now we're going to start building up our base. So there's our base. This was 3 lifts total. You can see it's fairly level. When you go over it with a compactor, you know, you're never going to get it perfectly flat. But tomorrow we'll start setting blocks. We're going to use these pipes here as our screeding rods, and we'll level out some of this chipstone. Make a nice, oh, there's a little bit of a glare. Make a nice level bed to set those blocks on. Alright, so what we're doing is we're getting our screed pipes set. We're getting them level front to back and then with each other. And then we use the screeding level to level out this chipstone. As you can see, we got our base course of block in, and now what we're going to do is we're going to fill behind these blocks up with modified, and this will have to be hand tamped, so we'll do it in like 2 or 3 lifts. You know, you don't want to do more than about 4 or 5 inches at a time. So we have 3 courses built here, and now what we're doing is we got to fill the back up with modified basically up to this drain level right here. So we'll run the modified up to about right here, and then from there up it'll all be clean stone. Today we're going to be starting our second half of our retaining wall build. We have some things we need to remove. We have this light pole, this footing that needs to come out, and then this bump out. We need to get it out. Because if you could tell, the front of the new wall will basically line up pretty close with the front of where this wall is now. Alright, it is Friday morning. We got 2 more loads of Redi-Rock in yesterday. You can see we're starting to get a little jammed up here, but we're going to be laying some block today. These are the base blocks right here. You can see the bottom's flat compared to the cutout there. So we should be using up most of these. There's some there and some over here. We finished up our base yesterday all the way around the corner. And so right now we're going to be getting our pipe set. We're going to street it out with our chipstone. As you can see, we got 4 courses of block up. We also built this form because we're going to be putting in a concrete curb down here on this end, and we're doing this for 2 reasons. A little bit of extra security for these bottom row blocks, and also since they're going to be storing a lot of stuff here in front of the wall, I don't want them pushing the crates into the wall constantly, so this curb will stop that. Will hopefully stop that, at least be a little bit of a deterrent. So we're getting ready to drop this filter fabric in. It's going to lay on the bottom, it'll come up the back wall and then fold over the top, so all the stone will be wrapped. Now some of you guys might be thinking, like, why do you need a filter fabric because you got a concrete wall here? I think the reason the engineers designed it that way or wrote it up in the drawings that way is because in case this wall, you know, completely comes down or erodes in the ground, as you can see there's dirt on this side, so you still don't want that dirt to wash into the drainage stone. So the filter fabric is going to be there basically for potential future use, right? It's not going to be doing much right now, but if this wall erodes or comes down, our drainage stone won't ever be affected. Let me give you guys a little glimpse of what we're doing. You can see we got our fabric down and under. There's our pipe, and then we're dumping our stone on top. You can see here we got at least I don't know, a good foot of overlap between. So we got 1 load of block this morning, and you can see that top row, that's our final height right there. And then while we were waiting for the second load to come, we got some drainage stone, 3/4 clean, and we continued getting the stone behind the wall, our fabric up and everything else. Let me show you that real quick. There we go. You can see the fabric and the stone all the way down. So now we're going to continue on putting the rest of this top course of blocks on. Might get a little bit of rain today, hopefully it holds off. All right guys, today's the last day on site at this retaining wall project. The customer decided to make a little bit of a change. You can see here, originally this part of the wall is a little bit higher than the rest of the wall. And that was because this area had the bump out that we were ripping down. Well, the customer decided he didn't like the way it looked, so he wants us to continue with this height all the way down the wall, which is no big deal for us to do, simply because this end of the wall was built the exact same way that this end of the wall was built. So adding that extra row of height won't affect anything structurally. But it's not as simple as just stacking another row of blocks on top, because these are top blocks. They don't have the bumps. So we have to pull off this whole row all the way down, put on the bump blocks, and then put these top blocks back on. So here it is, guys, the finished product. This is a 1,500 square foot big block retaining wall. These are Redi-Rock blocks. This was originally going to be about 1,300 square feet, but the owner decided he wanted to add on the top row all the way. Originally this top row stopped about here just to block off this corner, but he wanted to extend it down to the end, so it made it 1,500 square feet. We got our corner. We poured this curb. We had an asphalt patch here. You can see it's a little dirty now. They've been running the machines in and out. We moved that lamp post. All in all, everything came out pretty good. Owner's happy. I'm happy. On to the next one. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're not already.